Okay, we're back live for part 2 of tonight's meeting.
So we'll resume where we were. Mike, you were questioning, right?
Yeah, and just for the people at home, we're on item 9, resolution authorizing city manager to enter into a contract for the replacement of residential water meters with the lowest responsible bidder. And I don't have my time.
Just Mike Delory, Long Beach. I just want to thank Russell and Dustin for all of the efforts that they've done with this metering job project. We had a brief conversation outside, which was much better than speaking up here, only because there were some technical things that I just wanted to ask, and they answered them, and I'm very comfortable, very satisfied. And the project in the walks, the main replacement, is going on very well. The communication from the city to the walks neighborhood at the meetings we had was very good, so therefore people know what to expect. And the communication from Novelli to the residents has been very good as well. And the city, with the parking, do not park here, the hours. So I say, all in all, the project is working really well. And I want to thank everybody involved in that. I think that's my time, but I just wanted to come back and respectfully say I appreciate all the hard work. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mike. Any other questions from the public? All right. Yeah, oh, yeah.
I have to ask this question because I promised Mr. Paganini outside I would. The old meters that are coming out of the residents, what do they do in regards to salvaging them? Because there's a lot of brass involved.
As part of the contract that was bid, there's a salvage credit. So for each meter that's disposed of by the contractor, the city will get a credit towards that.
Do you know how much it is?
Yes, I can check right now for you.
So the new meters are going to be obviously much more accurate in measuring, right? That's the point of this whole thing, right?
Yeah, overall increased accuracy. We're trying to promote water conservation, try to capture some of the unaccounted for water. It's going to result in an increase in revenue. Right now we have meters that are over 25 years old in the city.
Right.
So this will really help with accuracy and making sure we're billing the appropriate amount for water usage.
Right. Thank you.
Previous question regarding the salvage credit. So existing water meter disposal and salvage credit for Cord Made, they bid $1.50 per meter. For comparison, the prices range from $1.50 to $2 per meter among the 3 bidders. The 4th bidder included 0 for that.
Is that both for residential and for businesses?
No, this project's only for residential.
Okay, so the residents that's happening, the $1.50 credit, do we know what that actually equates to in brass from like a standpoint of value?
No, we chose to put the, working with the Department of Public Works, chose to put it as part of the contract to eliminate the labor and handling of these meters by the city. So, on a daily basis, there'll be upwards of 30, 35 meters that are being removed. So we put that labor cost on the contractor, and then the credit is given back to us. As far as what brass value or weight associated with the existing meter, I'm not sure what that number is.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, close that, right?
Okay. Item 10 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the rehabilitation of Sherman Brown Park with the lowest responsible bidder.
So this item allows us to award a contract to SJS Construction, the lowest of 4 bidders for the Sherman Brown Park rehabilitation. Although already funded, we are hoping to be awarded a grant for 50% of the cost in November from the New York State Parks and Recreation. Russell is still available if you have any additional questions.
Start with the council.
Just one quick one. About how long is the reconstruction of the park going to take?
The project's about 6 months.
Great, thanks.
How long did you say?
6 months.
6 months.
Any other questions on the council?
No, I would just say, we've had a lot of call out from the community to update everyone as the progress of the playground and the repairs and the new unit goes in. I think it would just be good if you can work with John and Stacy, just so we can continually give updates on the progress.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russell.
Any questions from the public? All right, close that, thank you.
Item 11 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for street lighting maintenance and repair. And before we get into this one, there are two corrections that need to be made on this item, which I'll call for a motion for. The first is in the first whereas clause, the statement that says one bid, it was actually 4 bids that were received. And in the resolve clause, that it's for a 1-year contract, it should be read a 2-year contract. Do I have a motion to make the corrections?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so this item is to award a contract for street lighting maintenance and repair to New York Trenchless, the lowest of 4 bidders for a 2-year period and 2 optional 1-year extensions. Although higher than previous year, which was quite low, by the way, it is still $140,000 less than the next lowest bidder. As you know, it's not all maintenance cost. It's $10,000 a month for maintenance. The remaining portion of it is for light replacements, et cetera. And Russell's still here if you have any further questions.
Questions on the council?
Do we have any street lamps that aren't LED now?
So there was an initiative a few years ago that replaced all the street lighting to LED lamps. We're working on an initiative to change all the floodlights. There's a few floodlights.
I'm sorry, you're working on what?
An initiative to change the floodlights. There's a few floodlights around the city that are still high sodium chloride lights.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I have a question. Russell, can you just high points exactly the kinds of maintenance that this company will do?
Sure. So if any of the LED lights go out, they come and replace them. They do the maintenance on the wiring, the conduits, a lot of issues that we run into if a contractor's installing a fence and they hit the conduit, they'll come and fix it, and then.
I'll also add to that, there's a lot of pole replacements, or at least recently there's been a lot. There was one out in front of Coffee and Tea that had to be replaced. I don't know if someone hit that with the car, and then there's a few along the Bayside that have to be replaced due to like rot of the foundations.
So this covers pole replacement?
Pole replacements, et cetera, but it's a different line item. It's $10,000 a month for replacement of just maintenance of the lights, but then it also has pole replacement costs per line item.
That's correct.
Yep.
Foundations, etc.
So just if this includes poles as well, all these colonial lights that we're putting in that are losing their powder coating around the city, like on Pacific and places like that, so they would repair those?
I'd have to double check the contract on that one. But if the pole was replaced and within a year that the coating is bad, then the contractor that installed them initially would be responsible to change the coating?
Right, but longer than that, I mean, do they do that kind of maintenance, like restoring
No.
the coating?
No.
Okay, so they wouldn't be the ones that go in and paint them or something?
Correct. We're working with MagnaFlood, the manufacturer of those colonials, to secure the product for our own in-house DPW workers to paint them.
Thanks.
How old are those poles?
One was Pacific redone, not that long ago.
Pacific was this year.
This year, and it's already corroding.
No, Pacific was,
You're talking Pacific Playground? Or?
no,
Oh,
Pacific,
sorry.
Pacific Avenue.
About 4
It
years.
was about
That was a
4
few years ago, yeah.
Yeah, the powder coating, I don't know if it's the salt air, I don't know if it's dogs urinating on it, but at the bases, the powder
Oh,
coating
okay, right,
just comes off, and what you see looks like you see fiberglass.
yeah. Okay,
So we have to scrape it.
all right.
Yeah, we'll look
any
into
other
further
questions?
about the painting, but
Sorry.
we're going to look into the painting to see if it's included in the contract.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from the public? No questions?
Okay. Item 10 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for radio system maintenance with the lowest responsible bidder.
Item 12? You see?
Item 12, yeah.
12, okay. This item is to award a contract to Multimedia Communications, the lower of two bidders, for radio system maintenance used by the fire department, police department, and various city agencies. This company has provided this service for approximately 30 years. Although there is a marked increase for this year, Multimedia Communications is less than 20% of the other bidder. I believe Scott's here. Scott's still here, and Rich DePalma is here if you have any further questions.
That's a good price, Scott?
Tremendously lower than the other one.
Yes.
It did go up from last year.
Did.
It went from $300 per month maintenance to $425, but the other bidder that bid for it this year came in at $2,415.50 a month.
Yeah.
So $2,000 more a month for the other company. And like Dan said, this company's been with us a long time.
Oh, yeah, right.
They know our system. They know our wiring. To say the least, our system can be considered fragile, and having somebody that knows it, we're better off in, and I think that it's substantially less than the other bidder. So,
Yeah. Just wondering why like prices go up like that, price gouging. I think
yeah,
they say.
I don't necessarily know if it was gouging, but
No, I don't mean this company.
but when the last time was 2021, and obviously their costs have gone up, they did lower raise the discount we get on parts and materials. So instead of getting 15%, we now get 20% off. So even though the monthly cost went up, there's still some savings there.
I didn't mean to say that they were gouging the price. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Question from the public? No questions. Thank you.
Item 13 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase two 6-point loadman scale systems under Sourcewell contract.
So this item is related to item 5 that we spoke about earlier, to purchase two 6-point loadman scale systems under a Sourcewell contract for use by the sanitation department to realign our commercial billing for sanitation.
Question from the council? Question from the public? Okay, we'll move.
Item 14 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to renew an agreement with Core BTS, a partner of Cisco Systems contract.
So this item allows us to renew an agreement with Core BTS for a cloud-based telephone system and WebEx calling to ensure continual service in the event of internet disruption or emergency. I was going to say Al's here if we need to talk to him, but I believe he left.
Yeah, I can answer some questions on that.
Dave is here.
Does anybody have any questions on the council?
I mean, it's pretty simple stuff, right? It's all voice over IP.
Voice over IP.
Backed up.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Is
Okay,
that
any-
WebEx?
WebEx as well.
All right,
Yep,
so
yeah.
WebEx.
Any questions from the public? Any question from the Rogues Gallery?
All right. Next item is our resolution authorizing the city manager to accept funds from the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance.
So this item allows us to accept funds totaling $59,284 from the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance for a member loyalty award, a distribution of surplus funds. I don't believe Ian is still here.
Any questions from the council? Questions from the public? Okay, close that.
Item 16 is a resolution authorizing settlement of an action brought by Zoe Papetti against the city of Long Beach.
Okay, this item was previously removed from prior agenda, but it was put back on to settle a lawsuit with the plaintiff for the amount of $350,000.
Any questions from the council? No questions from the public.
We can't discuss it.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we'll close it then.
Okay. So Item 17 is a resolution authorizing publication for hearing of an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Long Beach regarding emergency ambulance services. This item is for publication only. A hearing will be held on October 15th at 7 p.m. Finally, approval of minutes, September 3rd, 2024. Do I have a motion? Anyone?
I will.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Okay, on to the votings portion. Item 1 is a local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment levy collection of taxes. Who wants to just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
Who went first?
Oh, let John get it.
That doesn't matter.
1 second?
Sure.
Okay. Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 2 is a resolution authorizing transfer of funds for the 24-25 fiscal year. Who wants to just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 3 is a resolution authorizing transfer of funds for 24-25 fiscal year. Who wants to just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 4 is a resolution authorizing transfer of funds for the 24-25 fiscal year. Who wants to just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
I'll second it.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 5 is a resolution authorizing transfer of funds for the 24-25 fiscal year. Who wants to just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second. Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
This resolution is related to item 13. I'm voting no on this.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 6 is a resolution authorizing city manager to extend the current agreement for animal shelter services. Who wants to just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 7 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase a police records management and computer-aided dispatch software system under Grant County, Washington contract. Who just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes, and I'd like to thank the Commissioner for an excellent presentation on this.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes, agree with that.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 8 is a resolution authorizing settlement of certiorari proceedings. Won't you just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 9 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the replacement of residential water meters with the lowest responsible bidder. Won't you just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
I'll second it.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
This is a project long time in the works. Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Not having seen the contract, I'm going to have to vote no.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Very little maintenance, 20 years. Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 10 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the rehabilitation of Sherman Brown Park with the lowest responsible bidder. Would you just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second.
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
I'm glad we're getting it done, but not having seen the contract, I have to vote no.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
As I stated before, it'd be great just to give the community updates on the progress. It's a long time coming, yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yeah, this is necessary for the community, and I certainly vote yes.
Okay, item 11 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for street lighting maintenance and repair. Would you just move the adoption of this item as amended?
I will.
Second?
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Not having seen the contract, I have to vote no on this.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 12 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter a contract for radio system maintenance with the lowest responsible bidder. Would you just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Not having seen the contract, I have to vote no on this.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
I feel like I'm going to send a confirmation hearing. I'm going to vote yes, though.
Item 13 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase two 6-point loadman scale systems under Sourcewell contract. Would you just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
I'll second it.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Not having seen the contract, I have to vote no on this.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yeah, I'm going to vote yes, and I think the point is that we have to trust the process. We don't have to trust the process, but we do trust the process, whereas we have the city manager and the corporation counsel and the assistant corporation counsels do the due diligence and do the research on this. So that's why I think that I don't have to see the contract in these situations.
You see, I disagree with you, Mr. Finn. It's because we are elected to look into these things. We are elected to be responsible for this. We're authorizing people to enter into contracts that we've never seen, so that's why I don't vote for it.
But this is a Sourcewell contract.
Doesn't matter, it's a contract.
Okay, I mean, you just, okay. You have that right. You are correct.
We can agree to disagree. I mean, you know, I understand where you're coming from, and you understand where I'm coming from.
Okay, item 14 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to renew an agreement with Core BTS, a partner of Cisco Systems contract. Would you just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
So maybe I could be Switzerland here for a second. So there's, not that there's anybody listening, but there's been some inconsistencies in getting all the contracts we're asked to vote on. We had a discussion about it before the meeting tonight. Some of the council members expressed concern that if we're being asked to vote on a contract, we should see the contract. But I think we came up with a solution for the meeting tonight that's going to address this issue going forward, so it shouldn't happen again. So with that, I'll vote yes.
Councilmember Lester.
This is a renewal of a contract which I've seen, so yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Item 15 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to accept funds from the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance. Would you just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Okay. Item 16 is a resolution authorizing settlement of an action brought by Zoe Papetti against the city of Long Beach. Would you just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Abstain.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
And finally, item 17 is a resolution authorizing publication for hearing of an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Long Beach regarding emergency ambulance services. Would you just move the adoption of this item?
I will.
I'll second.
Thank you. Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
City Manager's monthly personnel report has been filed by the city clerk. Who will make a motion to close the meeting?
I will.
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora.
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Okay.
This could be the best good and welfare I've ever been to.
Yes.
I bet you do a good job. Jen Sarafin. Ron Paganini. Russell Blank.
I think that's the guy.
He says he lives, well, we won't give his address up, but. Michelle Av? I can't read the handwriting there. Wanda Brooks. And Christina Kramer. And I did answer one of Christina's, well, I didn't answer it. I said I would find an answer for her, for one of her questions.
She is watching. All right, that's it.
Get home safely.
All right, thank you, everybody, and arrive home safely. Thank you to the police department for doing a very good job, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And the fire department, they were here as well. So thank everybody for doing their job. See you in 2 weeks.